Hey friend, in this video I am teaching you how to sketch a basic flower. So in this video I'm teaching you how to sketch flowers from basic shapes. Whether you're painting flowers or you're drawing flowers with a pen or with sketching with a pencil, it's really helpful to know how to sketch from basic shapes. So I'm showing you how to sketch flowers from oval shapes, a star shape, trumpet shape for an iris flower, and then a bowl shape. So we're covering a lot of different shapes in this tutorial today, and it's gonna get you really comfortable and build that muscle memory for sketching flowers. So then when you're painting flowers, you know what to envision and what that shape or overall shape should feel like. So if you're ready, let's dive in. Okay, so in this lesson, I'm gonna be teaching you how to sketch a basic flower, because whether you're painting or illustrating with a pen, understanding basic shapes of a flower and how to actually sketch one is going to be so helpful. I have a bunch of tutorials on sketching basic flowers on my YouTube channel and on my Patreon, but in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to sketch the basic oval flower. So I'm gonna grab my layout bond paper. This is just for demonstration, but if you're sketching before painting on top, make sure you sketch super duper lightly on your watercolor paper so that you don't see your sketch through the transparency of the watercolor. And I'm gonna do this in pen so that you can see. So I'm gonna yeah. All right, so I'm gonna blow your mind. So this is just for the demonstration, but this is a koi coloring brush pen from Sakura. And with every flower, whatever type of flower, if it's a trumpet-shaped flower, bell-shaped, sphere-shaped, star-shaped, I'll talk about the different shapes in a second, I always go for assessing what its basic shape is. So if it's a daffodil, for example, we have a trumpet shape on top and then a circle or spherical shape for the bottom petals. If we are doing a peony or an anemone that's more closed, then we are doing an oval or a spherical shape. Difficult to say. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with a C curve for my stem. That's gonna inform where all of my petals are coming back to. And for your sketch, you're gonna start super light, and I'm gonna do this with red to show this as like a guide. This is your guide. I'm gonna start at the top of that C curve with an oval. When I come back down to that, I'm going to just kind of loop out for more ovals. And the lower, flatter ones are just the tops of the petals showing. And you can do this for days. Like, you can continue to do that for days and days. And then your actual sketch, which I'll do in black marker, would go on top of that. So we've got a petal showing here. So I'm gonna pull this out here with just this cloud puffy texture for the tops of my petals. And then maybe we've got one coming in back here and here. And obviously the red parts are what you sketched super lightly in pencil, so you can erase that and actually see what you're doing, but here's what it looks like. You've got your C curve, you've done your ovals, and you're following those ovals as your guide. Just want to show you so you can see more clearly. But basically what those ovals are doing is showing you exactly where you should be placing some petals, because they're all pointing back to that point on the flower where the stem meets the bulb of the flower, or where the stamen is. So you want to make sure that no matter what type of flower you are sketching, painting, whatever it is, whether you're painting realistic or loose style, you want to make sure that all of the petals are pointing back to that spot where they would be growing out of the stem. And so here's what it looks like without the guides underneath. Another fun sketch to do, and we can do, you know, where we have it more open. So if your ovals are a bit longer, skinnier in the front, shorter and fatter in the background, you can show something that's a bit more, we're right at eye level with these front facing petals, and we're just seeing the top edge of the petal right here. And then maybe these petals are falling out, and these are the ones in the back. And then you've got your bulb right there in the center. So you've got petals that are flatter and longer. And then you see the stamen and the bulb of the flower a little bit more open. Like so, little cute little cherry blossom type flower. Okay, so another basic sketch or basic shape for a flower. If you're wanting to learn like a trumpet shaped flower, I did this sketch study of a daffodil on my Patreon channel. Make sure you check it out. But like I said, we're starting with a trumpet shape and a circle for the rest of our petals. So any flower can be dissected into a basic shape. So let me show you a star-shaped flower. This will be for when you're viewing a flower straight on. That's like a poppy, anemone. So you could start with sketching a circle or not sketching a circle, totally up to you. And then we're gonna do our star around it. So I'm gonna do this kind of light so you can get an idea of where your petals are gonna go. Again, this would be super duper light with a pencil, like so. And then we can center that a little bit better. And then once your sketch is done, these triangles become petals, and all I'm doing is C curve, parentheses on the outside, or S curve, so you can do an S curve. If you do an S curve on one side, make sure you do it on the other so it's kind of mirrored. And then I'm just adding these like little cloud bumps. In whatever direction those cloud bumps come down toward, like obviously this end of that little cloud is pointing or curving this way. So I'm going to pull that down like that. And then this one is the opposite, so it's mirrored. And then this becomes our center with stamen. S curve, little bumps, little C curves. Like so. Some of these are a little too skinny, so you can add a little width to fill it in like that. So there you have your anemone. You know, without the star, we have our circle for our bulb, kind of make it more like a disc. And you've got your star shape. So We're gonna this one got a little fat. That's why it's so good to sketch your guide first, because some of the petals can get a little too crowded. But then we're just gonna fill in some of the white space so it feels more even and planned. But overall, the basic shape of this open petal, straight on view flower, and an anemone, a peony, whatever, is a star shape and smudgy. Now we're going to do a trumpet or bell-shaped flower. So, you know, you could do daffodil. There's morning glory is a great example. That's a really trumpety looking flower. And I have an example of how to sketch and paint one of those in my book, Everyday Watercolor Flowers. But for this one, we are going to sketch, or I'm going to show you how to sketch an iris. So for your iris, trumpet-shaped flower, I also like to think of it kind of like a skirt. So you've got like a ballet skirt or something on the bottom and on the top. So here is my midpoint of the flower. We're just gonna have that right there. And the top is kind of like a fountain or the opening of a trumpet. So we can come in here and just do a C curve and a C curve, try and mirror those. And then the bottom is more trumpety shape. This is like a megaphone, and then this is like a bell. So we've got an S curve over here, an S curve over here. And there's other bell-like shapes poking out behind that. So then illustrating that on top, iris petals are really ruffly like a skirt. So we're gonna come in and just kind of give it these ruffles. And then like the anemone flower, I'm gonna give it some C curves at the top. And then these are poking out behind. You can come in and back out. And then same thing up top, we've got ruffles. We're following that basic shape of the trumpet. Maybe there's some back here falling away, but they're all kind of just spilling out of the top like that. And then we have the stamen kind of right here, which is kind of like a long tongue on the iris. All right, last but not least, we're gonna be doing a cone-shaped flower. You can do this like we did the ovals in the first exercise, or if you want a more distinct oval shape, you can do, or a cone shape, where you have a smaller circle, or oval actually, with a bigger oval stacked on top, and we're gonna pretend like we're connecting these for like a bowl. So picture a cereal bowl. And from there, where'd my black pen go? Oh. From there, you can pull out, you've got your light sketch, you can pull out your petals. So we've got petals in the front that are kind of wrapping around this front edge of the bowl, and then petals that go behind that, like that. Maybe we have a little one peeking out here and here. And again, just the little hatching we're doing to add detail on the petals. We're making sure that they're C curves and they follow the direction that the petal edge that they're closest to is curving. So this hatch right here is closest to this edge on the right, so it's curving the same direction. And always pointing back to that, wherever that bulb of the flower would be. So this is being, the bulb or stamen of the flower is being covered up or hidden by these front-facing petals. So we can't see it. And then this is our bulb, this is our mid spot connecting to the stem. And there you have it. A few different shapes. If you want more help with basic shapes and sketching flowers, check out my book, Everyday Watercolor Flowers. It has all of them in there with a few different examples and studies for a few different flowers. Thank you so much for watching. This was just one part of the full-length tutorial that we put together called The Complete Beginner's Guide to Watercolor Flowers, where I cover sketching flowers, sketching leaves from basic shapes and curves, painting basic flowers and their basic strokes for petals, painting basic leaves from compound strokes, pressure and release, painting an anemone star-shaped flower, painting delphinium, painting an iris flower with watercolor, color mixing using reference photos and how to achieve certain colors with color mixing, and also a full floral composition for a floral bouquet in watercolor. So make sure you check out that full-length tutorial. If you liked this video, please, please, please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and comment below with what your favorite takeaway was from this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.